So today I wanted to come out here to Yukon Valley for a moose hunt, and it's kind of continuing what we did yesterday with the mule deer, just kind of looking at some of the other things that came along with the new map update. And one of the things is that moose actually got fixed, and they should be making diamond, same as the mule deer, just like at the proper rates now. So I brought the 270, mainly because I think it's the best sounding gun you can shoot moose with. And this guy's going to go alert, so he should actually give us a chance at a heart shot. I just like the sharp sound it has. Like, I compare it with the 7mm and the 338 and even the 300, I just think it sounds the best. And we did this with the grizzly bear here, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. And I like the challenge of having that, like, requirement to make a really good shot, otherwise you're going to track stuff forever. So I think it's going to be fun, and we're starting out with a decent little gold moose with a heart shot. And actually, I say it's going to be a gold moose. I don't know what all the requirements are now. He's 211, I'm pretty sure that was right about where gold was before, and now gold's 194, so that's going to be one major change, but the other is the diamond requirement there at 274.9, so I think that's about 17 lower than it was before, and that should make a huge difference. We just shot a level 5 moose over on Medved on a Twitch stream, and I know he scored right in that area, and we also shot the 5 on Layton, which he was a good bit below that, but the important part is the scoring should actually just be fixed. Now, it's kind of anecdotal evidence because we're just getting started here and we've only seen 2 moose, but 2, like, good-sized ones, and that used to be the thing with moose. All the time, you see a bunch of, like, at least big golds, but lately it's been, like, a bunch of 3s and just kind of uninteresting ones, so it's good to see this. And that guy's actually got a shot at making diamond. I think we heart shot him, and he still ran a bit, but he was up to 287, so there's a chance there. And I don't know, that guy that called back here, again, because things are probably reset as far as the population goes, I'd like to know what that was. But I also want to know what we shot here, because I know I saw a level 4 diamond moose posted, and he was pretty similar looking to that one. And he went, what, 13 above the diamond as his estimate, so he's got a chance. I know, like, before they had to have pretty good sized brow tines, and this guy doesn't really have any of that, so I'm gonna guess he's gonna be below diamond. I mean, 251 though, that's not bad. I feel like just in 5 minutes we've had better moose hunting luck than in the last, I don't know, 5 months. It's hard to say though if there actually was a pop reset for the moose because they're not quite the same as the mule deer. With the moose you actually did see level 5s a little more often. It was just that they were almost always trolls, so I don't know, but seeing already 3 max weight estimate ones, it definitely kind of has me thinking they did. We're going to try to, well, I wanted to maybe get both, but that guy ran a lot quicker than I expected. Guess we'll just be happy with the one big one. It's going to be, since we're using the 270, a little bit tougher to really hunt for respawns today, just because, like, getting a quick follow-up in, unless we do make a heart shot, they're going to run pretty far. So we won't do a lot of that, just in those sort of situations where it's maybe possible. But again, if there is a pop reset, we might not need respawns. There might be a level 5 just waiting out here. I didn't really remember the moose just running from 270 heart shots before. I'm not sure if anything with that's changed. I guess it's been a long time since I've really tried that, and we saw it was the first one, I think. A little bit closer actually just immediately dropped, so it might be just down to that. But we gave them plenty of time to get into their zones, so I want to check all the lakes through here. I don't think I've ever had a moose on that side of this lake. Like, it's the one right here at the outpost, and usually they're, like, over in here and every now and then, maybe over on this side. But I'm pretty certain I've never seen one drink over there, so that might be kind of new. Maybe a place to actually look like in multiplayer and stuff. But we might as well get this level 2. I did talk about not really going for respawns, but the single ones we can go for can be respawns, and at least the 270 seems fine on these heart shots when it's just frontal like that. Not really having any issues. Talking about respawns and stuff, that guy technically would have a chance at a diamond anyway. But one thing that we still haven't gotten is a albino male harlequin duck. And that's been a thing a while now. I really wanted to go for that, and like every now and then doing videos or streams, we do drop like a couple of harlequin ducks. And I don't really bother shooting the females, so most of them have been males and can be work towards that, but still haven't even seen one. But it's fairly common that these 6 to 7 estimate level 2s make diamond. that guy is pretty much the low end. I think it is 6.8, like the minimum on that estimate, so that's not all that interesting. It's not like they've been huge, but just the number of high estimate moose is super encouraging. It's actually a lot like the mule deer yesterday. Just a bunch of max estimate ones. But we'll get him turned our way. It's not really the best angle for a hard shot, just because we're using the 270. I think we'll try to be a little more selective. But I think while he's facing us, run around a little bit, get him to stand still. And that one, I don't know if we shot like a little bit too low, because that's not going to be a lung. Might be able to help that out a little bit there. I think we got it, unless the first one was even a lung. I am curious, because we were up above him a bit, and I knew we had to aim higher in the heart, and that might have cost us some penetration even. I feel like I've seen moose actually die like this. That's actually kind of cool. Maybe he got his antler kind of glitching through his body a bit, and through the ground even, but don't they kind of do that? I feel like I've seen that. But anyway, actually both were lung shots. The thing I'm most surprised about is that the second one got it. Because a lot of times those fleeing shots with the weaker weapons, it's just tough to penetrate into the lungs, but getting towards the back there and the top, it was the thing that we talked about forever with the moose, that like the top of the lungs is furthest out like towards the hide, and it was easier to get lung shots there, so that worked well. And I think he's our second biggest, just 2 below the other one. It's actually 573 kg, so pretty good size one. And we have a couple more lakes up here in the Rustline Ridge to go to. At least our last spot here actually has a bull moose. The last two had a couple of cows, but that was just about it, so we'll hopefully go and get that guy. And then there's a couple of spots I want to get to kind of the last minute here. There's about 10 minutes real life of drink zone left for them. So hopefully we can get to, I think I want to get to 3 different spots. I don't know if he's going to put his head down. We could go for neck, but we've been pretty consistent actually with the hard shots, so let's try this. Had to stay a little to the side. I'm really not used to them running off like that, so I keep thinking we're not getting it, but they're going down, and other than the one, we haven't had to track any. It's going to be different, like, because they changed the scoring, but I'm pretty sure that could be a goal. 5 below, so that rack probably could. Just a little bit maybe low trophy rating. But the spots I still want to get to are these 2 lakes here, and then I always forget, I think it's this one, but one of these 2 up here actually has a lot of moose, but we're going to do these ones first. It's going to help us time-wise, like trying to get to all the spots we want to, because a lot of these lakes have just had cow moose, and then we don't have to go like run over and claim stuff. We can just fast travel to the next, but kind of expected to see at least like 1 bull at all these spots. Hopefully there's going to be one somewhere here. Just 1 cow. Well, hopefully that's a sign that we need to hurry up and get to some other spots, and maybe there's going to be a good one elsewhere, because those just turned up nothing. I really can't say for sure, especially because it's a different zone. But when we did the video here for Grizzly Bear, we came past this lake, and I think the moose were still feeding, and it was somewhere like right over in this area, but it was like a much smaller level too, and I know we didn't shoot it, so that wouldn't be a respawn or anything. So it probably is like a full reset, and that would explain why we've seen so many good ones. But we'll try to get around, I don't know if we can get to a spot where we can get both of these guys. It's going to be hard to be 200 meters away from like either one when we take the shot. Just try to get the right angle and stuff. I guess the wind's not helping us here, but it makes the most sense to just kind of line up on the bigger one. And we'll worry about respawns on a day where we have a more capable gun for this, but I just don't know. Drinking, like, we might be best going for a neck shot, unless maybe heart's going to be doable. It's a little bit worrying, like, when the angle's that big getting back into the heart. That would be about right. Must have got it. So super quickly, because I still want to get to one more spot since we have a little bit of time. The scoring change didn't make moose like exactly how they used to be, because there was a point where it was just around 500 kg where you get gold for them, and this guy's still 20 below at 513, so it's still not like legacy moose where pretty much all the bulls were making gold, but I feel like it's properly balanced now. We're gonna go up to the bridge here, I don't know what's best. I think we're going to go down from the outpost and actually get on the tracks, just so we can see both sides. It's kind of interesting, to be honest. Like, as many good-sized moose as we've seen, there's also a lot of spots that have nothing but cows. And there are areas that have been, like, reliable to get at least one bull for the most part, pretty much throughout the entire map's existence. So I find that kind of interesting. It might just be, like I said, the reset might get things a little bit weird, and maybe as we shoot these moose, respawns will get into some of the old areas again. But we're actually going to head to Layton now, and I think what we're going to do is just run up through Renaki, and pretty much go all the way up to Chopika, I think is the farthest north, and just any good sized bull we can get, we'll go for. We'll make it through drink time and just see if there's any there. Again, if populations are reset, then who knows what's in there. So we ran about 4 kilometers of that stretch from like Renaki up to Chopika. We made it all the way up into this area, and there was just nothing, a bunch of cow moose. So we're gonna do basically the same thing in Balmont, because I just fast traveled here, and there's one just trotting right in. So he'll probably see us and stop, rather than just moving around, because we're standing. The only issue is the more he goes that way, the more difficult the shot gets, so it's gonna go alert. I don't know if that's gonna get into the heart. It's definitely not. Hopefully a lung then. That's actually kind of cool. You can see sort of just barely, but the track of the deer that was here underneath the vital blood. But we did get him, so I don't know how far he's gonna run, but we'll go and get him. And I actually didn't reset the time for moose drink time, so we might not get to do a ton of Balmont, but at least we're finding bulls. It's always so tough to tell in the harvest screen, like, what would have happened if you had a little more penetration, because everything is so bright, it's difficult to tell exactly what's going on, but I think we had that. Just a little more penetration out of the 270 would have been good, but I guess that's learning experience to not take shots like that anymore. And already we got another bull moose. Should have just done Balmont from the beginning. So we're going to take our time and get this lined up, because it's about 200 meters, and we just can't get a lot closer because of the water, and we just learned that we want these kind of straight on shots, ideally. So hopefully we can drop this in there. Definitely got him that time. It's been a little while, I feel like, since we made a perfect heart shot, but got that one. I think it's going to be our farthest one so far, and it was kind of low in the heart, but got it pretty much center left and right. 203 meters, so that doesn't seem to affect it much, like as far as how long the moose survives from a heart shot. Say from pretty much anything over 100, they've run a bit, and I think it was about the same amount of time from 200. Ooh, hi. Okay. Didn't even pay attention to what I was spotting there. Should be able to get that. I haven't had a diamond duck here ever. I guess, which is why I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that it said level 3. I actually wanted to come over here because I don't even know where we just were. Somewhere, I guess right about here. I just saw a whitetail. You can see it was the previously spotted thing down here. And it got me thinking that apparently the whitetail zones are somewhat back to what they used to be. And I wanted to check up here, and I've killed a diamond moose here before. So I thought we could kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone and check for both species. And we got what's at least a good chance of being a diamond duck. He was 19 to 21, which actually has me kind of crossing my fingers, because the estimates are actually now to where not every duck has the max estimate. And he did, and I'm still looking for a max score mallard. And I usually do pay attention, but I didn't even have time to look. I think he's just a common, but we have a max score cinnamon teal and harlequin ducks, so maybe. Ah, he's so close. 20.7, he's 0.3 away. I just want to have a max score of all 3 ducks, and it's only because I happen to get a max score of the other 2, but I'm pretty sure that is the biggest diamond mallard that I've shot on the new system. We had a 1000 back in the day, but that was not at all what I thought was going to happen coming up here. It's 1306, so moose are just about done. Just for fun, because we're suddenly checking areas for whitetail, I want to see what's going on in Chila, because it's been a while since I've checked here, and I used to have a lot of them here, and I was curious if they were going to be back here on my map, but it doesn't look like there's anything here. Just a level 7 coyote chilling up there for some reason, so I guess that could be respawns. And actually, we haven't gotten to use the 243 today, and we know from testing the 0 for 300 is actually pretty much right on for 250. So that should get him in the lungs, and he's going down about the right speed that I would say it is. And we had originally brought the 270 because it was like one of the best sounding, in my opinion, guns that could take moose. And the 243 actually sounds really good as well. And we hadn't gotten to use it, so nice to have one chance to use it here at the end. So a little bonus gold coyote's not bad. I think that hit pretty much exactly where we were aiming, so still definitely seems to be a thing. I wasn't sure if anything changed with that, but I would say it definitely hasn't. And a hunt that really we didn't get all that much interesting as far as moose goes actually turned into something we gotta go to the trophy lodge for, because like I said, I think we got our best duck that's gonna be in there. We've done so many hunts like specifically aimed at trying to fill these small plaques, like everything from axis deer to black buck to springbuck and all the pig species, and we're getting to a point now where most of them are actually filled. Like I had to take down a piebald gold harlequin duck, like a good size one, it was 7, opposite this diamond one, so it's nice to fill that more and more, and we're getting closer and closer to eventually doing a stream where we just take everything down and kind of redo the lodge, because I just think things could be probably displayed a little bit nicer. But the other thing we're getting close to is the trophy lodge tour. Gonna be doing that probably in the next like 2 weeks, so nice to be adding things more and more to go along with that. But I looked at some of the other diamond mallard as I was trying to find a spot for this, and I think he is the biggest one. He was actually 20.79 in the manager, so real close to actually being a max score, but not quite getting that today. But anyway, that was a nice little surprise. And I think that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.